Hello guys, how you all doing? Just thought I'd do a nice little video on my latest pickup. I got this in on Thursday last week, and I was hoping to do the video on Friday or over the weekend, but just didn't really get around to it, and I wanted to try and shoot it in natural light, so had a bit of spare time today, so I'll give you a little look at this very awesome bust. I've gotta say, this thing is massive. Like, I knew it was gonna be big because I knew it was Sideshow's biggest ever Ironman bust, so I thought it would be kind of similar to the Iron Patriot, but obviously with the shoulder bells, but it's not the case. It is like just huge all over. The whole bust just seems bigger. The chest is wider. It's all over. The helmet's bigger. And it's like it was a pleasant surprise, really, because it is humongous. It really is, and it's some really awesome detail. It's not perfect, but it's very close. There was a lot of controversy when this shipped out. There was quite a lot of QC issues with this, and I've seen some really bad ones, especially on the chest plate. A lot of those were really dinged up and were not good. I've got a couple of little nitpicks with mine, but on the whole, this is definitely one of the better ones out there. So yeah, let's have a little look at him. It's obviously the Mark 42 Ironman bust, 1-to-1 scale, and like I say, it's massive, absolutely massive. I probably said this on the Iron Patriot video. It's kind of like having part of the Iron Man suit in your room, and that's one of the reasons why I love these busts. I mean, I like Iron Man. I'm a big fan of Iron Man, but the 1-to-1 scales, it's like having the suit, and they're very accurate to the the suits in the films. So it's kind of like having part of the suit, in your own room, which I think is really cool. I really love it. And this one really does. It is just massive, absolutely massive. But let's have a little look at him. I'm just trying to work out whether the colour is. Yeah, I'd say it is through the lens. It's a true representation. You've got the different kind of tones of gold there, and the red is like a very kind of deep, kind of burgundy red. Looks really nice. I think this is going to be a real dust magnet, though. I've had that a couple of days, and there's some serious dust on it. But I can live with that. As you can see, the thing I love about this, and what makes it, is the shoulder bells. It just adds so much more to the bust. And when you put them on each side, I don't know, it just brings so much to the table. It really does look awesome. It's to the point, and I might sound a bit strange in saying this, if I got this bust first, and I was going to get one of the other Iron Man busts, I would feel a little bit kind of almost dampened spirits, because this just looks so much more substantial, and it just feels like you're getting so much more for your money. As good as those other busts are, these shoulder bells really do make this piece. And what I love about it as well, when you look at it, I just love all these different kind of like layers and flaps all across the bell, and then all across like the top of the chest, and you've obviously got it on the neck there. Just really flows really well. I really like it. Like I say, this thing is absolutely huge. I will say as well, it's a little bit lighter than the Patriot, so if you're a bit of a weight junkie, a lot of people are saying this is really light. It's not really light. It is actually still got quite a lot of weight. It's just that Patriot is like very heavy. I think it's like Sideshow listed it, it's like 66 pounds. I've not actually weighed it, but I picked it up yesterday, and it is seriously heavy. This isn't as heavy, and a lot of the weight on this is actually in the shoulder bells. The rest of the bus is like, it's manageable, and it is quite a bit lighter than the Patriot. So if the Patriot's listed at say £66, it's probably going to be around £40, I would say, something like that, maybe £36. So it's a fair bit lighter, but it's still got some good weight. But it is really nice. There's some really nice sharp lines, some really good detail going through it. And yeah, there was a lot of QC issues with this bust. Like I say, especially on the actual chest plate, being all dinged up, and I've heard a lot of people say there's a lot of kind of very uneven, kind of rough surfaces. Mine on the whole is really good. I felt a couple around the edges where it's a little bit rough, but you can't see it, and it's not as if I'm going to be stroking the thing, so that doesn't worry me. The thing that is annoying, I'll show you, just to give you an example. I've got little bits like this. If you can just see on that silver there, there's just a bit of gold paint, and I've tried to get it out, and I can't shift it. I've definitely sort of knocked it back a bit, but I can't shift it. It almost looks like a reflection, and it's not a deal breaker. It's not. It's just annoying. It's annoying that, you know, this bus in the UK, they're sort of going for around 800 quid. You know, they're top money. And Sideshow, I believe Sideshow do a pretty decent job in their paint jobs when you consider they're working for peanuts and they're painting a lot and probably got to meet a lot of deadlines. And they do get a lot of heat, and some of it is justified. But this sort of thing, this should be sorted out. You know, that's easy enough. If you've got the paint in the factory, you can touch that in. You know, and I shouldn't have to do it, and anyone else shouldn't have to do it. And it's things like that kind of bug you with Sideshow with their QC sometimes. It's just sloppy. And you can see as well, it's just there. I've got a little bit there as well, a little bit of gold there. This bit here annoys me, because it almost looks as though that is primer, just towards the bottom. I tried to sort of like rub it out and try and polish it out. I think it is actually primer, so it's just where they've not actually painted it properly. So again, I'm going to have to try and sort of match this, because that bugs me. That really does bug me. I can live with it, but I will try and paint it in, match it in with this. Again, I shouldn't have to do it. They're nitpicks, because on the whole, the bust is fantastic. And for me to sort of notice that, I've got to stand half a foot away. But it shouldn't be there. That's the point, you know. If you sort of look at it in your viewpoint how you typically would, like if I'm sitting over there, from this kind of view, it looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So they're little gripes, and you know, hopefully Sideshow will start upping their game a little bit, because there's some really fantastic companies now doing some great work. Prime One especially, Chronicle doing some good stuff, Pop Culture Shock, and they're releasing a lot of decent stuff, and their paint jobs and their QC so far looks pretty tight. So you know, I think Sideshow needs to kind of take a little bit more care, but it is awesome. It is really, really awesome. I paid quite a bit under the retail price on this, which obviously was good. If I'd paid like sort of 800 on in the UK with those issues, I'd be a bit, well, pretty annoyed. But let's light him up. Let's have a look at it. Got a really nice light up feature, as do all the other Ironman busts. Just looks awesome. Absolutely awesome. This is my 5th life-size Ironman bust. I had the Mark III originally. That was my first piece. I then got the very rare Mark II, the silver one from Sideshow, which was really awesome. I then had a custom piece, which I painted up and sold, and then I got the Patriot, and I got this. I've also got the half scale as well, which is really awesome. And I remember watching Ryan's video, and one of his friends was saying that the Mark III was more impressive. having owned it, I can sort of see why people would say that, because the Mark III is like the classic Ironman suit, and a lot of people love that suit, and it is a very nice bust. But if I had to pick one, I'd pick this. It's just so much more impressive in terms of the detail. I like the colours. I think I actually like this suit. I think it's a nice suit. The colours pop really well. But the detail and size of this thing, it's got some really nice sharp lines sort of flowing through it. Very, very impressive. And there it is. I'm going to say a couple of little shout outs to a couple of friends of mine. Good friend of mine, Martin, goes by the name of Jack Reacher. He's got a really, really awesome collection, and has been away for quite a while. So he hasn't been doing anything on YouTube, hasn't been very active. But it's good to see him back. He's just got the Blitzway Marilyn Monroe, which is a really, really nice statue. So I said I'd give him a little shout out. Check his channel out. You've probably heard of him. He's got quite a big following, and he's got a very nice collection. So have a look at his stuff, Jack Reacher. And I've got to say a hello to my mate Bully, good friend of mine. I bought a Terminator bust off him sort of years and years and years ago, and we've been friends ever since. And he's been giving me a little bit of advice in how to restore and protect and enhance even the paint job on the Ironman bust. So I might actually do a little video on that as well. So yeah, thanks to Bully and Martin. And I have got the Pop Culture Shock Skeletor coming in. Had to get it. It's Skeletor in it. Skeletor's a legend. I ordered it Friday. I'm a little bit worried because they have been shipping with issues. Especially, I've only actually seen the exclusive with the issues. Looks like water or condensation damage, and some of them are like turn mouldy. So that is a bit worrying. But yeah, I've ordered it. That should be here mid-week, hopefully. So I'll do a video on that. And I've got a very awesome Terminator bust coming in. Something very, very different to what you've probably seen. It's an absolute killer piece, and it's killing me because it seems like an age since I ordered it. It's nearly done. It's nearly there. So hopefully next week he'll arrive. So I'll do a video on that obviously as well. And I will see you on the next video, probably the Skeletor midweek. So thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch you later.